Hi everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Alas, as you can see, I'm not in Costa Rica. Was supposed to wake up in Costa Rica this morning, but didn't happen. But it's all good. Alas, I shall be in Babylon a little bit longer, it looks like. Want to talk about raw food diet choices, all or nothing today. I do videos every day, so if you haven't already done it, I'd really appreciate if you'd hit the subscribe button now. Then click on that little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. Raw food diet choices, all or nothing. Today I want to look at this. I want to look at this health thing. Think of it as like a train station, and let's think of the whole length of the train station. There's a lot of stations and stops in between. Let's say here at the very beginning of the train line, we've got the standard American diet. That's where you get on the train. And that train runs all the way, and at the other end of the line is a fully raw vegan lifestyle. 100% raw. You know, nothing but raw. And probably we would even say at the very far end of that line is 100% raw and very, very simple version of raw. But, and here's the big but. There's so many stations in between, and it's never been the purpose of my channel or what I'm trying to talk about or what I'm trying to encourage people to herd everybody all the way to the very end. That's just not what I'm about. That's not what this channel's about. And a lot of the reason for that is just simple pragmatism. It's not realistic. And we don't have to get into the debate. Every time I say this, somebody pops in, well, yeah, raw vegans say it's not good for you anyway. Oh, well, then why are you watching a raw vegan video? But, you know, it's just not the end all be all. And the reality is most people are not going to be raw vegans. Most people are never, ever, 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 ever in a gazillion years going to be full raw vegans. You know, if we can get people to, most people, best they're going to do is get to a fairly clean version of a vegan lifestyle. I'm not saying that's, you know, written in stone or you can't, but anyhow, the reason I do what I do is I want to help everybody that wants to get on or off at any of these stops. It's not for me to judge and be like, well, no. This channel, this is only about this. And if you're not going to do the raw thing, or if you're not even going to do high raw thing, yeah, you probably need to move on along. And that's why that's why I do put a lot of time into thinking about what I'm going to talk about in these talks and not making it, you know, just droning on and on and on about everybody must be raw, we must eat raw, we must eat raw, don't eat this. You know, basically the same 3 videos that everybody else is making out there. Just hammering the point of the raw vegan lifestyle. You know, like I say, I always say it, I do feel my absolute best on a fully raw diet. The cleaner I'm eating, the simpler I'm eating. When I'm eating, listen, I'm just absolutely vibrating. When I'm getting a nice mix of juicy fruits in there, when I'm having my orange juice in the morning to start the day, and then I'm having some mangoes, and then, you know, then I switch on over to bananas, greens, whatever. I feel my absolute best. There's no doubt about it. Nobody will convince me otherwise because I'm very observant of how my body feels. But not practical, and not everybody is going to do that, and not everybody's going to have the mindset. Not everybody is going to have the same circumstances. So I really think in most things we do in life, there are a few exceptions, like, you know, when you're really going for something of certain characteristics. But anyhow, all or nothing is a dangerous thought pattern to me in most ways of life. And, you know, I've preached this one over and over and over. There's so many people out there, and that's a bad way of thinking, that look at it like they failed every time they eat a bite of cooked food. If you ever do that, if you're obsessed with this raw food diet, I would invite you to take a step back, kind of look at yourself from outside, almost if you had an out-of-body experience, and step back. And instead of all this beating yourself up and, oh my God, go into your group and whining and moaning about how, oh, I fell off the wagon. I ate some cooked food, but what'd you eat? I ate some potatoes the other night. And you're like, wow, this person really could use some therapy. Sorry, I say it like it is. That person could really use some therapy if you have a mindset like that. Why not step back and take that look and think about, how am I eating now compared to how I used to? I mean, if I'm really being impartial and not just being, you know, stumping for the raw food lifestyle and everything raw, that's pretty darn healthy. If you look at the way that person is eating and you compare them to about 99% of the planet, they're doing great, but they don't see that. They just see this prize, or they just have this obsession over raw food, and it can be over a lot of different ways of eating. I've seen a lot of. I've just wandered in and lurked a little bit. I've seen some paleo groups and forums and whatever out there, just as obsessive as can be as well. So, obsession, all or nothing, none of that stuff is just good for me. So, I always want to, and I'm going to continue to, and that's what, you know, hopefully as this channel and as my brand grows, then I can even branch out and talk about more things, and I don't have to keep it to the raw food. I mean, I'm kind of, you know, I've done a lot of my keywording of the videos and what I do, raw vegan, raw food. I have a certain following on that, but I really want to increase that to, you know, a wider spectrum. And just like I say, I want to spread this message of a plant-based diet, a plant-based lifestyle to as many people out there that will hear it and that will embrace it. And, you know, like I say, in a practical manner, especially for people that aren't even dabbling around with the raw food lifestyle, they will see something, you know, like some of this extreme raw food type stuff. And I totally believe that can turn people the other way, going like, well, all that stuff's just ridiculous. And, you know, sometimes it even gets mixed. Like some people will stumble into and hear people talking from a raw vegan perspective, and that turns them off to vegan in general. They just like lump all vegan together, and they're like, man, I stumbled across this raw vegan dude. Those people are weird. They're just strange. So, yeah, it's practicality. A lot of what I want to do here is just practicality. I want to share a healthy message with as many people as possible. So that's what I'll continue to do. So I don't, like I say, I know there's some people out there, and I think they don't tend to follow me as much anymore. I don't think I have so many raw is law type people that watch me, based on comments or lack of negative comments anytime I don't talk about 100% raw. Now, I do think there's people that follow me, that watch me, that are probably 100% raw or very close. They're just not fanatic about it, and they don't always have to be doing this little... Have you ever noticed this? Like, there's always this showing of intelligence. I know a little bit more about the raw, and, well, I've got a little bit deeper information than everybody else. Let's just all focus on being happy and healthy, and getting it, and, you know, like I say, meeting people where they are. I think that is a big problem in this community, in the plant-based community all around in general. And this doesn't just go for raw vegans, this goes for everybody's too in their little group. And if you're not part of my group, or if you don't want to do things the same exact way that I do them, well, I don't have any use for you. Or, you know, maybe you need to move along, or it's just so segregated into one thought pattern. And, you know, like I say, we're 7 billion people on this planet. We're all going to look at things differently. There's no two people that are going to look at anything exactly the same. Now I am starting to kind of just go all over the place with this one, but like I say, once again, I'm going to leave you with this. This is something you might do in your personal life, in your day-to-day life. I'll give you a little advice on how maybe, you know, I see people out there all the time and they don't have a channel, or they're just sharing stuff random to their friends. And they kind of beat their friends over the head with this stuff. There's a smart way to disseminate information. And it's not about, look at me, look at me, look at how smart I am, look at how much information I've got, beating over people over the head with it and making them accept something. It's about making something interesting. It's about making something looking fun. When you look like a nut job on social media and you're like that person, I don't know if you've ever seen the old like little cartoons like in the New Yorker or something with the guy walking around with the sign that the world is coming to an end. You look like that radical crazy preacher or something, and nobody tends to want to listen to you. I see vegans, I see raw vegans all the time. I see it on my timeline on Facebook and stuff, and I'm like, wow, these people are the worst ambassadors for this lifestyle I can imagine, just because of their method of sharing, their lack of openness to other thoughts or whatever. So let's you know, hey, let's keep doing this raw vegan thing. I still encourage you to be as high raw as possible, but let's be a little bit more inclusive, and let's look to sharing with other people this lifestyle or a plant-based lifestyle based on where they are and based on what will actually take with them, what might actually help them. You know, so anyhow, just some rambling, scattered thoughts of mine today. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.